Today we're going to talk about search engine optimization. And search engine optimization is what allows sites like Bing and Google to find your site, and they are really moving targets. Google often changes its algorithms to find the sites on the web. So we know now that things that Google looks at are things like connections to your sites. If you have things that link back to your site, they look to make sure that your code is good. They look to make sure that you don't have a bunch of duplicated words just over and over again, because that used to be the way that they found it. But if you have a lot of duplicated content trying to bring people into that, they won't take it. And I can't tell you specifically what the Google algorithm is, because they do change it so that people don't know. What Google is trying to do is to force people to have quality sites that people are looking for, rather than, having people use trickery to find sites. So the things that are important is that in the content of the page, you think about the keywords that people will look for, and you actually use those words, but in a natural way, not, putting San Antonio photographer, San Antonio photographer, San Antonio photographer, San Antonio photographer, San Antonio photographer. That won't help you. Google will boot you out for that. So on that note, there is a plugin created by search engine optimization or SEO experts called Yoast, and they take a lot of the guesswork out of this. This is a plugin that I have activated in the network site, but if you are doing your own site, you would go into plugins and you would just add and search for and add and activate Yoast. So once that is in there, it's going to show up on the side in a thing here that looks like this here. Right now we don't have all of the options in there. It just says SEO and it has that Y on there. It's also up here. But we're going to deal with the dashboard right now. So I'm going to go ahead and open up my console here, or open up my dashboard. And it's telling me right now that I am blocking my access to robots. I have that because I didn't want anybody to actually find the site, because I don't have any content. Yoast actually gives me the option to say this is a development site, so they're not going to find it anyway. So I'm not going to worry about that right now. However, if I was using an actual production site, something that was going to bring people in, that it was using actual real data, if you are making your portfolio, you actually want these things to be found by a search engine. So you would go to your reading settings, as it says, just click on this, and I would unclick this and save my changes. Right now I'm going to leave that just because I don't want people to find my site, but if you are making an actual site, a portfolio site, something that you want people to be able to find, that's cool. Go ahead, unclick it, and save your changes. Okay, so we are going to go back into the dashboard here, and I'm going to go into General. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to open up the configuration changes wizard here. Watch what happens to the address. You can see that now I'm taking a little bit longer than I thought it was going to, but okay. So now I can go through, and I've already signed up for the newsletter here multiple times. So I can skip this actually. Okay, this is where it allows you to select whether you are production, which means if you're making a portfolio site and you want people to actually be able to find it, great. If you're in one of my classes where you're making an online store with fake data, you're definitely a development site. You don't want to do that. So generally you're going to be one of these two, or actually this one, if you're, for instance, if you have something on a live site, the internet service provider at Bluehost, which is our internet service provider, if you have a copy of that and it's just for testing, you would do staging. which is kind of what I'm doing here. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in. Okay, what type of business is this? If you are doing your own personal portfolio, I would actually say small business. But, you know, you can do any of these that you think is going to fit. I'm going to go ahead and say small business. Am I a person or a company? Actually, right now, I'm a company, and this video that I'm making is on the Northwest Vista site, but it would be the same on the Texas A&M site. If I had a logo, which I don't have with me at the moment, I would put it in there. If you choose person and if you choose a blog, your options may be a little bit different, but you're going to go ahead and put these things in. Okay, so if I am a business, I am going to put in my links to my business site, like for instance, Facebook URL. I would put in the Northwest Vista Digital Media Roundtable as opposed to my personal site, because I don't want everything linking to my personal site. However, if I'm doing this as a person, I could put in my other information. However, you generally will want to put in the things that are associated with the business or the page as opposed to you yourself personally as the developer. Right now, I'm going to leave this blank. Okay, so whenever you are pulling things up in Google or Bing or whichever ones that we're using, do you want your posts to be showing? Do you want your pages to be showing? And I see these are the pages that I have going in this particular site. So it's saying, do you want these things to be hidden or shown? So I can control what I want to do. Okay, do I have multiple authors? No. Okay, no profiles were found. So to do this, you actually have to have a Google account. So I can go ahead and copy that. Put this in here. Authenticate. And this is fine because I don't have everything all set up. So okay, now this is just the divider that I want to have inside of my name. It'll say NVC multi-site dot whatever I put in there is the tagline or descriptor. So I like the dot, that's why I have it selected. So I'm going to say next. Okay, so I'm done. Now I don't want to watch this video. I'm going to go back to the dashboard here. Okay, the other important thing, because you can see here I only have 3 tools. So I am going to go into my Webmaster Tools, and I'm going to click on, if I want this to be able to be found specifically using Google, I'm going to click on this. And I'm going to go to the alternate methods, get my HTML tag, and I'm going to copy this in. And this is actually going to put this information on my page for me. So I'm going to take that, go back, and I'm just going to paste this in there. If I want to do Bing, I would have to go in here and I'd have to have an account with Microsoft. I don't feel like doing that at this particular moment. Google is enough for right now, because I think Google probably has more viewers. But you would probably, if you're doing this professionally or if you're doing this as your personal account, as your portfolio, you may want to go ahead and follow through with all of these. I did Google because I have a Google Mail. So I'm going to go ahead and save my changes here. And I'm going to go back into features here. And on my features, I'm going to say that I want to have my thank you, calendar, for all that information. I want to have my advanced settings turned on. So I'm going to turn those on. Watch what happens over here. Now I have all of these different things that are available to me. So I can go in here and make changes if I wish. I want my readability analysis. I want my keyword analysis, so keywords don't really do anything anymore. I'm going to connect a video on also in this module that goes over all of these things a lot better than I'm going to, because I am just going to leave all of these things as a default. But the other video that I will put in the module will have more information about all of this. But that's enough to get you started so that your site can pop up a little bit above all the other sites. That should get you going. It's the same one. Okay.